Hello and welcome to the White Gloves Digicam channel. Today we're going to talk about a camera that doesn't have many videos on YouTube about it. It's the ultimate swivel design Nikon camera. It's a Digicam from 2006 called the Nikon S10. So what is this? Early in the Digicam era, cameras didn't have this fixed design. Instead, what they would be is you got some funky shapes where you would look like this through a viewfinder, or they would swivel. There were other funky designs like just the little camera module swinging as well, but this is probably the most enduring design. Lots of companies made this type of design. Nikon started in 1998 with a camera called Nikon 990. I don't have a Nikon 990 with me, but well, I can tell you about it and I'll put in a little video in the background. It was a huge camera. The size was about the same as a DSLR from the same day, and with the body it was actually quite heavy as well. It was only a 2 or 3 megapixels depending on which model you got, and it only got 3 or 4 times zoom. I have something about similar size to it. What this is the Olympus E-Volt 4/3 camera, and as you can see, this is the size difference between the two. What is the Nikon S10 and why is it the ultimate camera? In a moment I'll show you some of the functions it has, but in brief, this is the last of the series, the smallest one of the series as well, which you could get in 2006. The difference between the previous model compared to the Nikon S4, the Nikon S10 has vibration reduction. It has sensor shift stabilization, allowing you to take photos with slower shutter speeds in darker conditions. And what this allows you to do is basically take it out in the dark and get some really decent shots. Additionally, it has a 10 times optical zoom, and the lens itself does not extend when you're shooting. So when you turn it on, it will just blink. And this is it at the lowest magnification, 38 millimeters, and this is it at the 10 times zoom. Nothing extends here. So it can be quite stealthy for, let's say, street photography. So in a minute we'll move into and put in the white gloves, and I'll explain a few of the functions of the camera, but let's do it just now. Yeah, here's a gallery of some pictures I've taken with the camera. Okay, so here I have the camera. Let's focus once again. And I've got the white gloves on, so let's talk about it a little bit. So the Nikon S10 is the final of a series of rotating cameras. They have the swivel design, which lets you point them forward or backwards for different types of shots, and they also work this way as well. So about the camera body, it's quite small. It fits in a coat pocket. Probably you get a nice bulge if you put it in your own pockets, but yeah, it looks pretty nice. It has a 10 times optical zoom, starting from 38mm equivalent up to 380mm equivalent in full frame terms. It has something unique which I mentioned before, which is the vibration reduction. This is sensor shift type vibration reduction, and it allows you to take portraits and pictures at longer focal lengths or in darker conditions. So let's go through a few of the other buttons and features of the camera. So first of all, underneath the VR button is the perfect portrait button. The camera will take several shots. It will use flash or red eye reduction if necessary to provide you with the best portrait. So on top, next to the lens, we have a light for illuminating night scenes to help it focus at night. Next to it, we have a powerful xenon flash. It's powerful for modern cameras. It lets you get this flashed look that's quite popular at the moment. We've got a speaker and a microphone on the camera, and next to them you have the on and off switch, and clicking it on it you get this nice video. Okay, so let me get out of this recording mode and bring it into the standard shooting mode. So next right here is the shutter button. It works with a half press to focus, and it uses contrast detect. So low contrast scenes can give it a bit of trouble focusing, but it's actually pretty nice and pretty fast for a camera of the age. And right next to it, this is the wide and tele button, and what this lets you do is zoom in. Once again, it's nice and responsive, and it's pretty quick to focus as well. One thing I don't like, and I take this picture right here, so as soon as you take a picture with flash, the whole screen comes off, and you have to wait for the flash to recharge before you can use the camera once again. Okay, let's now talk about some of the shooting modes and the available features. The standard shooting mode of the camera is this basically it. You've only got a few options here. ISO, aperture, and shutter speeds are handled automatically, but you can turn on and off the flash by using the joystick going up. These are the different flash modes. You can set up a self timer of 10, 3 seconds or none. Going to the left and going down, you can turn the macro mode on and off. And it does pretty decent macro. It focuses pretty close with a small sensor. So here is a macro shot I can show you. Okay, now let's look at the other modes. So because the camera is fully automatic, it's a point and shoot. It has a whole bunch of scene modes, and these scene modes do the same thing as you use the camera manually, but with less user input. So knowing what they do, let's go through them one by one, starting from the top. So the first one is portrait mode. You've got different types of portraits. In more details, once you go into this menu, it will prioritize lower aperture, and it will turn on vibration reduction. It will use flash if you don't have enough light, and basically you can get some pretty decent bokeh. Here is a portrait shot of me with this camera. It's at 380mm equivalent, you can get decent bokeh. So next one is landscape. It just tries to focus to infinity and uses a lower shutter speed and a higher aperture to get more things in focus. Sports prioritizes shutter speed and ISO to get you to stop motion. Next one is night portrait, which we use a flash combined with a slow shutter speed to get the background and some lights, as well as the subject in focus and lit up completely. So party indoor is another flash mode. It just tries to gather more light after it flashes by leaving the shutter open for longer. Beach and snow tries to get the beach and the sand on the beach or the snow completely white. It will usually do this by using a slightly slower shutter speed or lowering the ISO as much as it can. The next one is sunset and dusk and dawn. These are most specifically targeted at capturing colors and maybe slightly underexposing. Here we have night landscape, which will set the focus to infinity and will keep the shutter speed open for longer. We have the close-up mode as well, which is basically a type of macro mode. We have museum for turning off the flash completely and just boosting up the ISO to get decent pictures in places where you cannot use flash. You also got the fireworks show, which is for capturing fireworks at night. And you've got the copy mode, which is used for copying documents, the black and white mode. It will close down the aperture to get you maximum amount of detail on text. Finally, we got backlight, and this is for subjects in broad daylight. It will use a flash to make sure that if the light is coming from behind your subject, the subject and the background will be evenly exposed. Now, one thing to mention is that using this tele button to the right, it will actually tell you what the mode does, and you can use this anywhere in camera as well. Okay, so now let's get out of the modes and let's look at the other two modes. So you have video recording and you have audio recording. Let's look at the video first. So video, it's not that great. 640p is the best mode that you can get. It records also smaller sizes as well. You can get time lapses and you get some vibey video. It's early 90s or early 2000s. Okay, and looking at the modes once again, you've got a voice recording mode, so you can record voice notes by themselves or together with a picture that you've taken. Okay, finally clicking on this button right here lets you review images. My battery just died, but it's just a review mode that lets you delete button with this button as well. Okay, now let's turn off the camera and I'll show you one more thing. Let's talk about the battery situation. So it uses a Nikon battery. It's a rechargeable lithium-ion cell that's still available. It's the Nikon EL5. And with this, in brand new condition, you can get up to 300 shots. However, in its current condition, might get about 100 shots with mine. It also uses standard SD cards as well. And that's about it. So here are a few more pictures I'll show you I've taken with the camera. But yeah, that's about it. If you like the camera, I'll probably put it up to my eBay store, whiteglovedigicam, in a little while after I've taken my time to play a bit more with it. And if you want, you can subscribe and I'll post more videos of interesting and decent cameras that we can look at. Okay, bye for now.